Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, got a post here from Hedera and I thought I'd share this with you, and they say, a great read. Find out how Hero brings together Google, IBM, Dell and others to shape the future of open source DLT. Okay guys, so what is Hero? I actually covered this not so long ago. It's basically a project where basically Hedera have given away the code of the hashgraph. Basically they're now making their code open source. What does this mean? It basically means they're becoming way more decentralized. It's a very big step towards true decentralization. And so I said before that this is a real big step, and one of the reasons why I said this, and I'll just expand on it a little bit more now, is because they were saying how with this now happening, like, people can actually add to the code. And so when they're talking about these big companies like Google, IBM and Dell, etc., you know, helping to shape DLT, I think this is exactly what they're talking about here. So we actually have got these big entities who are on the governing council for Hedera, who will now also be able to actually add to the source code and add to the power of the hash graph. They might be able to add more utility to the source code. They may be able to add more features to the source code. So it's actually going to be way more powerful now, because companies who've got coders and stuff like that who have ideas for their own, you know, their own features that they would want for, you know, use cases for their companies, they will be able to add to the code and just provide more features in that way. So I said this before, this is a great thing. And one of the parts I just wanted to read out to you about this as to why I wanted to cover this specifically as well, is because there's one specific part that I've been saying this on my channel for a while, and like, I just really want to reiterate this as much as I can, because I'm always realistic with you guys. I'm never trying to just do hype content. I'm always realistic, and I just want to show you this quote here. And this is from Daniela Barbosa. So it's not from Leemon Baird, but she's actually part of this this project. And she says, quote, "We always knew there wouldn't be one blockchain to rule them all. Different approaches are needed for different use cases. And while permission ledgers are important, public and permissionless blockchains, along with their ecosystems, are critical for how enterprises and governments build decentralized trust systems," unquote. And so the main takeaway here that I'm trying to show you from this is, we knew there wouldn't be one blockchain to rule them all. Guys, I've been saying this from, you know, the beginning of my channel. There's not just going to be one crypto that just, you know, ends up being the main victor and every other crypto is just severely behind or just doesn't exist. That's just not going to happen. It's not realistic, guys. At the end of the day, different networks are going to appeal to different companies for different reasons. Now, for example, one of the reasons why people might want to go with Hedera is because it's one of the most carbon friendly blockchains. So that could be something that makes them think, oh, I really like Hedera for this reason. And I think that will be a huge reason why Hedera do get a big customer base, because there's a huge thing that's going on right now to try and go as carbon friendly as we possibly can, you know, as a world. And, you know, companies are making it one of their missions, you know, their mission goals right now. So that would be a huge reason as to why they'll get a bigger client base. But there's going to be other things where, you know, there might be other blockchains that are more suited for other things, right? So, you know, you could say, for example, with cross-border payments, the XRP ledger is mainly focused on that. And so it might be better to use the XRP ledger for that purpose, just because it's more specifically designed for that type of use case. Now, again, to me, this doesn't mean anything negative. All this means is that, hey, don't just think of just getting into one crypto and then that's it. That's why, you know, for me, I'm in like 20 different cryptos, right? But I will say this, I'm not equally invested in every network the same, right? Like there's networks that I'm more invested in because I have a way bigger belief that they will be more successful in the future. So there's some cryptos that I'm in where, you know, I've only got like really like $50 to $100, where it's just literally just like a very small, you know, we'll see how it goes kind of play, whereas the other ones I've invested in a bit more heavily. And so, you know, to me it comes down to, okay, like, it's not about thinking what crypto is going to be the main one. It's the ones that I think are going to be successful, and then I spread my bets a little bit, because hey, I don't know which one's going to take off the most. I don't know which one's going to take off when. So it's all about just evening, you know, my odds and just spreading out my odds a little bit, because I believe in these, you know, different crypto networks, but I can't say which one, will take off when, because you don't know what could happen, right? Like, for example, you know, Hedera could come out with a partnership tomorrow that just absolutely blasts off its price. Like, if we think back to when, you know, the whole situation happened with BlackRock, where, you know, that whole debacle came out, let's just say that would have been true. Like, where would have Hedera have gone to at that point? Because HBAR was flying from that, you know, so how far would that have gone if that had been accurate? So, you know, like, this is where I say, like, you don't know what's going to happen and when, but the point that I'm making here is you shouldn't be really just focusing on just one crypto, to be honest with you. And they're here saying this to you as well. So, you know, although I am a HBAR holder and I am very bullish on HBAR, it's not going to be that HBAR is the only one left standing and all other blockchains will fail. Like, that's just not how this is going to work. There will be numerous different blockchains that will be successful in the end. And that's okay. That's fine. Like, I don't really think you should be thinking like that, because in the end, what you will want is like the blockchains to be interoperable, and that would be good as well. So this is the kind of thing that can help push like the industry forward. But yeah, you know, this is great, as I was saying before, because this continues to add that, you know, IBM, Dell, etc. This is going to give them a bit more onus to try and make Hedera successful now, right? Because they're going to have like these things that they want to do for their use cases and stuff like that. And now they can actually add to the code themselves as well. So they can start helping to build up Hedera. So they're actually going to have a stake in, you know, building Hedera up even more so now. Like, even more so, because they've actually got the ability to add to the code. So this is a real great thing to see, and I think this will be something that I really do think this is going to be a real positive move for HBAR in the long term, you know. And it's not just because of Hedera and Dell, like, it could be all other developers who want to get involved. It's the fact that, you know, developers in general now can add to the code and add to the network. So one, this means that the you know, the network and the ledger itself is going to be way more decentralized. But two, it obviously just opens way more features and things like that to be added to the network. So it just means that other people can add to the value of Hedera. So, you know, this adds way more, you know, way more power to the network as a whole. So, I touched on this a little bit in my older video, but yeah, like, this is where I'm saying now, like, even the governing council, like, they are now going to have an even bigger stake in the future. And I think that's a good thing, because, you know, like, some people do say this, like, you know, they say, oh, you've got the governing council, but they're not doing that much. Well, to me, I've seen them, you know, creating use cases and stuff like that. So I'm not necessarily going to say that. But the fact that now, not just in terms of them using use cases for Hedera and for their companies, but now they can actually add features to tailor it more to their needs, it's just going to make it more attractive to them, right? Because maybe at one point it's like, okay, I like using the network, but I feel a bit limited in what I can do, right? Well, now that's not the case, right? They can actually get, you know, developers to add to the code so they can tailor it more to their needs. So they can actually feel a lot more free now in regards to, you know, utilizing the network in the way they want to utilize it for their specific use cases. So yeah, I really think overall this could be a huge positive for HBAR. And I definitely look forward to seeing, you know, what this is actually going to do. But yeah, this is really great news. But as I say, guys, like, don't just have this one track mind about it only being HBAR. I'm not going to tell you what to do in terms of diversifying. That's completely up to you. But I do think that you need to, like, get over the whole, like, it's just HBAR and that's it. Like, there will be other networks that will be successful. But the main point is, and what you need to take from this, is that HBAR, in my opinion, will be one of the successful blockchains. That's what I see from all of the research that I've done and all the videos that I've covered. To me, it looks that HBAR is going to be in a great position to be one of the networks that succeeds, and that to me is what matters. So great stuff to see here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this can bring, because I think this brings a whole new avenue of opportunity for Hedera now. So I definitely look forward to seeing what that does for the long term. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and hit that bell. Take care.